Take a deep breath. And when you feel comfortable, you can come up and join me on a standing posture. So I promised TV I would use a chair. So if you want to be practicing with a chair today, you can just have one close to your mat, okay? If you see me doing things in a chair and you're not used to that, just ignore the chair. Do it on the mat, okay? So let's stand on top of our mats, palms together. Toes together, aligning your back. Take a deep breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Inhale deeply and exhale. One more inhale, opening your eyes, palms together, face up, palms together, and we do go forward, fold forward. If you have a chair, place your palms on the chair. If you don't have a chair, go all the way down to a downward facing dog. You can rock your feet, one and then the other. Spread your fingers, palms firmly on the floor or on your chair. Awesome. Right leg steps forward between your hands or next to the chair. Bring your left heel down to the floor, palms together up, warrior one. Exhale, palms down. Bring your right leg back. Knees, chest, and chin if you're on your mat. If you're with the chair, just pull your chest forward. As if you were doing a cobra here. From chest and chin, go into Bhujangasana or cobra, back to downward facing dog. Left foot forward. If you're on the mat, you can be here. Palms on the floor. Left leg goes back. If you're on the mat, chest and chin. If you're on the chair, just bring your hips forward, up into Bhujangasana. Downward facing dog. Rock your feet. Remember, you kept your hands on the chair and straighten your back. Don't force it if it doesn't feel comfortable. Big step forward with the right foot, big step forward with the left foot. Look up. Look down, fold forward, Uttanasana. Hands together at the center of your face and come all the way up. Back towards your chest. One more time. Inhaling up, folding forward and down. Right leg goes back. Knee on the floor. If you cannot bring the knee on the floor, just stay here. You can come all the way down. You can bring your palms up, or you can keep both hands on the knee. Press your hips a little forward, opening your chest. Hands on your mat. Left leg goes back. You can go back to downward facing dog if you're on a chair. Left foot forward, right knee on the mat. Once more, you're gonna go deeper if you want. Maybe you can stay here, or if you're more flexible, you can try to bring your fingers all the way down to the mat, opening your chest. If you're not on the mat, just stay here. Press your hips forward, open your chest. Now bring your hips back. Right hand up. Take a twist to the left. You can bring your hand to the outside of your left knee and just wrap your left hand around your waist. If you want to go into a deeper twist, you can bring your armpit closer to your knee, palms at the center of your chest, and take a twist here. If you want to go deeper, you can curl in the toes and take your twist here. If you're using your chair, you can just go back and sit and do your twist here. Okay, if you're using the chair, you can just move around the mat. Awesome. Let's return, palms on the mat. You can either go into a plank pose or your knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, whatever feels best for you. If you're on your chair, remember to bring your palms on the seat and open your chest. Downward facing dog. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget your intention. Why are you practicing today? Who do you want to dedicate the practice to? Or what's the beautiful intention and action you want to go and make it happen in the world? Right foot comes forward, left knee on the floor. Whatever you want to be. If you cannot bring your knee on the floor, just stay here, press firmly with your palms on your chair. Maybe this is your level and that's fine. Maybe you can go further. You can open your chest. Palms inside your right foot, bring the right knee back. Knees, chest, and chin one more time, or chaturanga, whatever helps you. Hips down and forward, Bhujangasana. Downward facing dog. It's better for you to try to keep your knees bent and bring the chest closer to your thighs. But try to keep your knees straight if your back is hunched. So just try to straighten your back and bend your knees. It's better. Right foot comes forward once more. If you need to sit for your twist, go ahead and sit on your chair. Bring your left hand up. Take a twist to the right side. Right hand behind your waist, left hand outside your right knee. You can stay here. You can go deeper, palms together at the center, or you can go much deeper, curling in your left toes and bringing that knee off the floor. If you want to take a bind, just go and take a bind. Different options for every level. And just breathe through your nose and smile. Think about all that beauty you can bring into your world. Just for today or tonight. And maybe it turns into a practice of every day. Awesome. Hands back on the mat. Either in a plank pose or on your knees, chest and chin or chaturanga. Hips down, open your chest, back to downward facing dog. So Stevie, you're here with me. Look up, big step with your left foot forward, big step with the right foot. Palms together in front of your face, all the way up towards the sky. And back to center. Great. So let's face forward. Let's turn our left foot to the outside a little bit and try to bring your right foot close to your left leg. If you need to grab something, maybe you need to support yourself with a chair or use a wall, it's perfect. So try to find your tree pose. Maybe this is the right level for you, or you can bring your foot to the level of your calf or inside your thigh. Or advanced practitioners, you can go into half lotus. Just try to find your level. Bring your palms at the center. And if you feel dangerous today, you can try to close your eyes. just for a second and let's see what happens. If you feel comfortable, maybe that hand can look for the heel and your left hand can look for your waist. Maybe, just maybe, you want to try to find your balance. And you can offer the posture to someone who might need to feel healthy and joyful and happy today. Awesome. Great job. Let's switch sides. So open a little bit your right toes to the side and bring your left heel inside at the level of your ankle or your calf or your thigh, or maybe your half lotus. And try to feel that balance, that strength in your body. Practicing asana is also being truthful to yourself. You cannot cheat yourself in a posture. You will do what your body allows you to do. You can grab your heel if you like and find your balance there. Beautiful. And release. Amazing. So we're going to come out into a seated pose. Stevie, just stay in your chair. The rest of us are going to come down into our mats. So this is where props come in handy, okay? You can pull back your sitting bones and try to stretch your legs forward. So try to press the back of your legs and try to stick it to the mat, okay? Bring the weight of your shoulders on top of your hips and bring the navel back in. So Stevie, try to straight up your spine while you're sitting on your chair and keep your shoulders aligned to your hips. And everyone is gonna lift up their hands and their arms, bringing the shoulders back. Now press the heels away. We're gonna stay here in Dandasana. Press your heels forward, bring your navel in, wherever you're at. As if you were trying to touch the ceiling, but keep your shoulders down. Activate your legs, press the heels away. All the body is active. Maybe you start shaking, just enjoy it. Take a deep inhale here. We're gonna fold forward. Now, be very honest. We're gonna be honest today. Remember, if you're coming forward and your back starts to punch here, just for the sake of touching your toes, don't do that. Just stay there. Maybe this is where you can use your blocks, okay? And you can just do this. If you're more flexible, maybe you can lean forward if your back is straight. So remember, being truthful. Take a deep inhale. And when you exhale, try to go a little forward. Inhale deeply. Forward. One more time. Awesome. And let's come back and up. Stevie, you're gonna try to cross your right leg on top of the left one if possible, at the level of the ankle, or you can cross it. The rest of us are gonna place the sole of the foot to the inside of the left leg. Advanced practitioners, maybe you can go for half Padmasana here, okay? And place your foot on top of the left thigh. Now, right hand goes behind Option number 1 just stays here, close to the waist. Option number 2 tries to reach out for that foot. The left hand is in a fist, and you're going to place it across the right leg. So you're going to take a deeper twist there. So take a deep inhale, stretching your back. And when you exhale, take your twist there. If you move your hand to the inside of your thigh, under your thigh, it's going to go deeper. Okay, so whatever you choose to do, just follow what your body is asking you to do. Let's release and let's switch. Left foot at the inside of the right thigh, or half Padmasana. Left hand behind your waist, or all the way to the foot. Right hand in a fist. Take a little twist to the left. And remember, it's not how advanced the posture looks. It's the journey you're taking in your asana practice. It's what you do outside your mat what matters. Great. Headstand. For those who already practice your headstand, don't wait for me to give instructions. Just go ahead and do it. Okay? I want to see you standing now. And for those ones who do not have a headstand practice, these are the options for you. You can stay here sitting with me and just cross the top of your head with both palms down. Turning your back, closing your eyes, imagining you're in the most beautiful headstand of your life. Beautiful headstand that you can brag about. Okay, option number 2, you can come into 4, tabletop. Bring your palms closer to your knees, bending your elbows backwards. You're gonna bring the top of the head to the floor. You can stay here, or you can come into the hare pose, bringing the heels closer to your buttocks and grabbing your ankles from behind. And then you're in a headstand. Okay, so you don't have to go and do something crazy and acrobatic if you don't want to. Go ahead and take your option. Earle, Birney, you can do a headstand. Headstands are great for your blood circulation. They help bring in oxygen to your brain. A couple of more breaths there. And slowly you can come down. And everyone comes down into Balasana. You can spread your knees away, bringing your big toes together. The forehead comes down to the mat. Stevie, you're here with me. You're gonna spread your knees and your legs from your chair, and you're gonna take your legs and you're gonna fall forward. And that's where we'll rest. A couple of breaths, inhaling, exhaling. Beautiful. So you can come up and stay here in seated pose while I just cue this posture for those who are in the chair. For those who are in the chair, come to the edge of your feet, bring your palms back, open your chest, and you can just stay here. Or you can straighten your legs and come up like that, okay? But this is a great choice. For those who are in the mat, we're gonna come into a bridge pose. So bring your hips and heels closer, forearms and elbows down to the mat. We're gonna bring the right arm under your body, and then the left arm under your body. You wanna bring your shoulders together from the back of your chest, trying to bring the palms down to your mat and maybe clasp your hands together. And then you're gonna kick the mat with your heels. You're gonna press the heels down, bringing the hips up, trying to bring the chest and the chin closer together. just stay there on your bridge pose. If bridge pose is easy for you and you already know how to go into Salamba Sarvangasana, then that's your option. Go ahead and just go into the next posture or maybe Viparita Karani. So just do your regular postures or just stay there in the bridge pose. Great, Stevie. Try to bring the shoulders together there in the back. Awesome. And slowly, come down. One more time for those who are in the chairs, press your legs. Come forward for those on the mat. Bring your knees close to your chest and rock to the side. Second chance for your bridge, your Salamba Sarvangasana, or you can go into Halasana, or you can go into Padmasana in Salamba Sarvangasana. Okay, so you can go ahead again, try to find your bridge pose here if you didn't do it before. Maybe try to gonna lift one leg up, or now maybe you go into the standing shoulder posture. And those in the chair, open your chest. If you're in Salamba Sarvangasana, you can go into Halasana, bringing your legs to the back. If you touch the floor, you can release your hands off your mat. Off to your mat, sorry. And slowly release the posture. Come back gently. Stevie and those in the chair, you can just massage your back with your fists. And those on the mat, rock to the side. Bringing your knees closer to your chest. So those on the mat, bring your feet down. Spread your legs a little bit to the sides of the mat. Open your hands, extending your arms at the level of your shoulders. Bring both knees to the right side and take a twist with your head to the left. If you want to go into a deeper twist, you can bring the left leg toward the right arm. Those on the chair, spreading your knees here. You're going to take a twist. Maybe you can grab the chair on the back and go deeper. And let's switch sides. Let's bring the knees to the left and look to the right side. If you're on your chair, take your twist to the other side. Yes, Elena. Now place your feet firmly on the floor, Elena. There you go. Okay. Time to go to your Shavasana. If you need like an extra movement, just go ahead and do it. If you're in your chair, gently come down to the floor. You can take a side Shavasana if that's your choice. You can have a fist on your hand. Place your fist under your head so you can align your head with the rest of your body. And that way you can go into Sachavasana in the fetal position, or you can just go and lay on your mat on your back. and close your eyes. Imagine you can inhale through all of the pores of your body. All of your skin breathes. And you exhale through each of the pores. One more time, inhale through each one of the parts of your body. And exhale. Release all your body weight to your mat. With each exhale, you release every tension. Each one of your worries. As a little ice cube melting on the floor. Let your body recharge with the energy it needs. Let your inner and outer organs regenerate. And dedicate this rest, this joy to all those people out there who might need them. Now let's all together take a deep inhale through our noses and exhale through our mouths. And start wiggling our fingers and our toes. Start stretching our bodies as if we were waking up during the morning time. Maybe you want to take a little twist or stretch or bend or whatever your body feels like doing right now. Smile and give yourselves a big hug. And turn to your sides in a fetal position if you're facing up. And gently come up into a seated pose. And let's get ready for a meditation with Mr. Earle Birney. Thanks everybody for joining me.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for practicing with me. It's been great to see you all. Earle. Hi.
I'm going to get set
We're
up,
in,
so just take a minute or two to get set up, and I'll get my sound and audio and all that. So we'll be back in just a minute or two.
Thank you, Paola.
Thank you.
Cecilia, show me the baby. Oh, she's gone. How are you feeling? Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elena.
Love you. Bye. Hey. Can you hear me? Check, check, 1, 2. All right. Oh, that was great. I just was doing some research on meditation, and they're talking about the benefits of like even 2 or 3 minutes of meditation. People are finding benefits from like what do you call it? Like research benefits. What's that word? Anyway, and so it doesn't take much. A lot of the research had been, another big research project said 13 minutes. And then kind of a standard has been 20 or 30. But I think sometimes for me, it's like if I don't have 40 minutes to do yoga or an hour to do yoga, or this amount of time to do the thing, then I don't do it. And so it was great to do that, for me to do that yoga, and certainly fell deep into Shavasana. So thank you. We have 20 minutes left. I was going to talk a little bit about the yamas that we just studied that was part of this course. And I know not everybody did it. So we'll just talk about the yamas a little bit. And then I want to talk about some upcoming, like what's next? What did the bring yoga back? And now what's next? So let's start with, maybe we could just list the yamas. Doesn't matter if you did the courses or not. They're, like Pa was saying, they're available on YouTube. You can get them off the website. But these are, and anyone can just start listing them. These are ethical principles that were written by Patanjali 2,500 years ago, almost 2,000 years ago. And it's cool in the hey, who do we got there? Paola, there you go. Hey, Emma. Hey, Emma. In the verse, it talks about these ethical principles are for everybody. If they're Emma's age or old man Earle's age, if they're in Switzerland or if they're in Canada or New York, if they lived 2,000 years ago with Patanjali or 2,000 years ago now. It's like people forever were, I think, going up to him with excuses. Like, do these apply to me? And he's like, yeah. Well, what if I'm nobility? Yeah. Well, what if I'm a worker? Yeah. What if I'm yeah. What if I live in 2000? Yeah. Whatever you're going to say next, Patanjali's like, yeah, these ethical principles are for you. It doesn't matter what your excuse is. He's like, I don't care. They're for everybody, no matter what. Whether you're rich or poor, aristocrat or doctor, lawyer, teacher, doesn't matter. Acupuncturist. So Marina's killing it. Let's do them in English because not everyone knows Sanskrit. And these are, so the first one's ahimsa. Just don't harm people. That's pretty universal. So that seems like a pretty good guideline. And I think that most of us probably are pretty good about not walking around going up and punching people in the face. Like I suspect we've all managed to get our level of morality at least to that point, I hope. So what's cool about these principles is, you know, technically lots of people interpret as don't kill people. Yeah, okay, well, I got that. So have I perfected ahimsa? And, you know, obviously it's a thing that we become more and more and more subtle with. Like, I sometimes think I'm so great because I catch the flies in my house and I release them. I don't kill them. But sometimes I'm not super gentle about it. You know, sometimes they get injured in the process. So I have to be more, I have to practice, I have to refine my ahimsa more. Or when I lived in the desert, anytime you leave water out uncovered in the desert, something flies in it and dies. You know, if there's empty buckets and it rained at night, then in the morning you have to dump them all out or there'd be a bunch of dead animals in them. So work on that. Satya means telling the truth. Which means the whole truth, nothing but the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The truth's easy. I don't lie to people. But I often don't tell the whole story. You know, I give them an impression that's a little bit different than the one that I have in my mind. And so it's like really trying to refine these ideas. What's next? Asteya, not stealing. You know, we can go through these. Asteya is not stealing. How can I refine that a little bit more, Brahmachari is keeping sexual purity. And a parigraha is tricky. It's often translated as overcoming possessiveness. Geshe-la tends to translate it as it's grasping to a self-existent thing in the moment. Like we have ignorance, we have a seed for ignorance, that seed manifests, and then I see tea as having qualities that exist in the tea. But then a parigraha is like the grasping that is in the moment that makes me do an action based on that kind of ignorance. So those are the 5 yamas. Yama means a restraint that we based this series of yoga classes on, and you can check them out at the YouTube. Where's Tanya? She's one of our teachers. She's here today. Benji also. I'm not sure if Benji did some of those videos or not, but you can definitely check him out on our website. Teaches a lot of Lady Guna stuff. So so my question for you is there an order to these? Or is there one that's like the most important one? Like, what are they in a specific order or not? This is the participatory, not a rhetorical question. I can wait. I'm good at waiting people out. The order depends on who it is directed to. Where's Stevie? I'm going to ask you to unmute if you could, Stevie, and just How do you mean?
Well, take ahimsa, you know. Um, okay, so you injured that fly. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. But then you murdered your mother. Now that's a terrible thing. And so I think that you can't answer that question fully without considering who the action is directed towards. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Stevie. I love when you share your wisdom with us. Who else has got an idea? Is there an order to the 5 yamas or ethical principles? And if so, what's the most important one and why? Sandra says, yeah, maybe the first thing is we should see where things are coming from. Yeah, that's a very important point. One of the principles here isn't ignorance, but if it was, that would definitely be the most important, because it's the one that in a previous verse, Patanjali says, ignorance is the field from that all the other afflictions grow. So really, to get rid of all of the afflictions, we would have to get rid of ignorance. If you practice satya, anything you undertake, well, yes, those are some of the cause and results, but which one's the most important? If we saw where things are coming from is the most important, because then we wouldn't act immorally. I think that's a great point. Maybe we should start with the lies we tell ourselves. Yeah. I'm going to give Benji's answer because he's taken my answer. But if we look at don't lie, tell the truth. I always think of like if I went up to someone who's like, you are being a total asshole. Am I telling the truth? Right? Like from my perspective, I'm speaking truthfully. Yeah, you are being a real jerk. That's the truth. You look terrible. Or any number of things, right? It's true, but it's not ahimsa, it's not kind. Right? So what's important is that we apply ahimsa to all of the other ones. We have to apply ahimsa to our truthfulness. We have to apply not harming to our truthfulness. We have to apply not harming to asteya in the sense of how we deal with money. So we did a really cool course called Yoga for Financial Abundance. We'll do it. One of the courses will release early next year, talking about ahimsa in the sense of our source of money. Is it from an ethical source? I had a friend that worked for a weapons manufacturer in the States, and I was kind of surprised he took the job. And he was like, well, it pays a lot of money. It's like, I know it does. People pay people a lot of money to build weapons that are only function is to kill people. And he took the job. So sometimes we get into a situation where we don't have a lot of choice. We have a job that we know isn't perhaps ethically ideal, like maybe serving alcohol or something like that. And as Geshe-la's always taught, like you try to slowly find a different line of work without dropping everything. We still have to pay our bills and support a family and all of that. But can we apply ahimsa to our source of income and then also how we spend it? So it'd be like, am I supporting if it's my morals to support small businesses, am I spending my money? Am I giving my money to massive corporations versus mom and pop, small local businesses? If that's one of my ideas of how I want to live my life, there's a book called The Soul of Money. I really, really loved it. And the author, whose name I can't remember, maybe someone can chat it in. She said, take out some actual money from the bank, some tangible money, take out however much money you spend in a week in money, paper money. And every time you spend it, as you're spending it, paper money, because it's more tangible instead of just being a card and it's all digital. As you spend it, check your feeling. Does it feel good? How you're spending that money? Does that $7 coffee feel good? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Does that money that you give to somebody on the street feel good? Sometimes for me it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I feel pressured into giving. Sometimes it's very natural and feels very right. But to check in with and it's, for me, it was such a cool experiment. Every time I spent money, make it tangible. And then as I'm doing it, think like, how does my heart feel about this? And then let that guide our actions in how we can bring a hinza to our non-harming, to this idea of not stealing. So I wanted to talk a little bit about as we move through the Bring Yoga Back program, that was what we had focused on. And that's something I think we can always practice with the practice of the book, or just kind of with a mindfulness practice. Where are we going from there? There's a couple of courses that we're about to release. And Marina, if you could put up the info, that would be great. One of the fundamental ideas of YSI is that we need to combine inner and outer practices. And so outer practices are things like yoga asana that we just did, maybe pranayama, generosity, things like that. And so we've designed a course called Outer Fundamentals. And that's going to focus on, that's taught by Lydia, great friend, mom yoga teacher. And she broke the asanas down into, I think, 6 different categories. So inversions or back bends, forward bends, standing poses, Surya Namaskars, and teaches the fundamentals of each of those categories of asanas. And they're short, they're, 10-minute videos, I think. So they're very easy and they're very accessible and very informative. And then there's a little bit of coursework. And if you want to kind of tap into the outer fundamentals of yoga in a very, an easy to do self-paced online course, that's coming up. We're releasing that, I think, what is it, in a week? Someone have the exact date? If you could put that in, that would be cool.
November 17th.
November 17. That's available on the website. If someone could put that up on the website, on the chat, that'd be great too. At the same time, we're releasing a course called Inner Fundamentals. And Inner Fundamentals is, in this situation, we're going to talk about meditation. And this is a course I'm super excited about. It is, to me, essential part of, happiness, for one. I was, again, just doing some research. Distracted mind is an unhappy mind. Someone wrote a book on that, did some research and wrote a book. A distracted mind is an unhappy mind. Even if our mind is focusable and we're focusing on something negative, we're happier than if we're distracted, which I think is fascinating. So if we are focused, if we're at work and we're like, oh man, I am really focused on this task and it sucks. That state of mind, people self-report as being happier is when they're just kind of lost in thoughts, spacing out, generally ruminating and worrying about the past or future. So what happens? That's why a mind that's trained just flat out is happier, let alone all of the other benefits of being able to focus the mind, like being present when our friends are engaged with us, instead of me being so worried about what I'm going to say, actually listening and having the capacity for active listening. And then all of the spiritual benefits of mind training. Being able to focus on the nature of reality. And then, like someone said, then we can really start to attack our negative emotions. So that inner fundamental course looks at what are the skills and techniques that we can develop in our meditation practice to overcome the problems that we encounter in meditation. So there's 9 stages of meditation, 5 problems, and 8 corrections. And to become a better meditator, we need to understand that roadmap. We need to understand, where am I at on that roadmap? What are the common problems? What are the common solutions to that problems, so that we can progress? And I meet people over and over and over again who are just frustrated with meditation. They've done it for 10 years. They feel worse often because they've developed bad meditation habits, and they don't feel like they're progressing. And it's because I think it's very hard to find a good meditation teacher. And B, we just don't have a roadmap. We don't have a framework for what even better would look like. I mean, it seems counterintuitive in some way to be so goal-oriented about meditation. But it's very definable. Better is very definable. And there is a roadmap, and we can follow it, and we can have a much less frustrating experience by being successful. The mind likes to do things that we're successful at. So that's what this course is. It's like, how can we learn the mental tools that we have in our mental toolbox to fix this mind? And so it's a self-paced class in pre-recorded videos. I think there's 10, maybe 12. Their videos are not long. They're just broken. All of the steps are broken down. And so stage 1 broken down in the video, stage 2 broken down, stage 3, stage 4, different skills and techniques are given their own video. I am biased, but I think it's one of the best things that I've made program wise. So I'm really stoked on it. We're going to do that as a group. So there'll be a group of people that are taking that together and meeting up once a week and discussing it as a group. What's working, what's not working, what was cool, what did you find, reflecting on that, and having a time to ask and answer questions. And that'll be with Bob Sereno and Connie O'Brien. So they will be leading the group through that program, and all of the info is listed in the chat, and you can obviously see that they're bundled together for cheaper pricing. All right. That's that. I managed to do it without going over. Really wanted to thank Pao for putting together the Bring Yoga Back program and guiding it through. And I don't know how many teachers taught in it, 8 different teachers or something? And
It was
10?
12 classes, 12 different teachers.
12 classes, 12 different teachers. So a bunch of YSI teachers taught those classes that are linked to that theme of the yamas. And if you want to check them out, please do. They're free. It's a great way to kind of go through a series with a constant theme and to be embed those inner and outer practices into one. And thanks, Pao, for organizing today. And I really appreciate everybody's time coming in. Benji, Tanya, thanks for showing up. And thanks for being part of the community. So if there's any questions, you can reach out to info@Yoga Studies Institute. Oh, there they are. Yeah, live Wisdom Wednesdays. So that'll be the meetup times. So there's your QR code. I look forward to, being part of the community that's doing that also, and hopefully can see people there. If you gotta go, please do. If you do want to hang out and have some questions, cool. We will save, provide a little bit of time for some Q&A about that. But if you gotta check out and go on with your day, really appreciate you joining in and being part of our community. Pao is awesome. Agreed.
Gracias.
Yeah.
Guys, I just want to tell you that Earle recorded this classes, the inner meditation, introduction to meditation in a week. So he worked really hard to put this course together. It was amazing to see him, working this hard. And just the fact that we will have Connie and Bob leading this Wisdom Wednesday meetings, it's amazing. So if you have the opportunity to join, that will be great. I will definitely be joining as well. I'm looking forward to having these classes. So Earle is here, seize the moment, squeeze some answers from him. If you have any questions about meditation, about the course, something in general.
Going once, going twice. All right, gone. Okay, very beautiful to see you, Stevie. Thank you for adding your voice again, and lovely to see you. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, I hope. And everybody else, look forward to when our paths cross next.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Earle.
Marina. Also, Marina, thanks for putting this on also and all the work you do.
Thank you, guys.
Please stay, keep teaching. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
It was great.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye bye.